Hello, people. How we doing? It's deadline day. We've only finished the show an hour ago. I thought I was going to wait until 1 p.m., but we're here a little bit earlier. I'm hearing Anthony to Real Betis is done. I'm hearing Sancho to Villa. I'm hearing United are signing a new goalkeeper in Senne Lammens. Yeah, boy. The shades are going on for this show. The shades are going on for this show. I'm going to run through it. I've got my collar up there. Whoops. Probably put that down. Yes, please. Right. We've been speaking about, we did this earlier, we were saying, like, what's going to happen? Is it going to be Martinez? Is it going to be Senne Lammens? Look, I like my jacket. I'm keeping it on. It's a good luck charm today, right? We've got the confirmation from David Ornstein and from Fabrizio Romano of the Here We Go. I'm going to run through the details and we're going to have a little bit of a chat, all right, about our new, can I just say that, our new goalkeeper. Just take a moment to appreciate the fact that we are getting a new goalkeeper. All right. United have reached a total agreement with Royal Antwerp to sign. Is it Senne Lammens? Lammens? Let's call him Lammens. To sign Senne Lammens or Senne Lammens. Deal for the 23-year-old worth 21 million euros plus add-ons. No sell-on clause. 5-year terms. He's flying in to complete his United medical. And we've seen the pictures of that already. That's Senne Lammens. Damn it, I'm going to call him Senne Lammens because I've already done it in the video. Yes, it does mean the video can be dropped. That video will be going out as soon as this show finishes, all right? And don't say I don't treat you well. Here from Fabrizio Romano, Here We Go. 21 million euros plus add-ons, agreements in place. Let's see if there's any more details in the article from The Athletic. Manchester United have agreed a deal to sign Senne Lammens. A fee of 21 million euros plus add-ons has been agreed with no sell-on included. He's travelling to Manchester with personal terms already agreed. And United are now going to get the medical done and get him in and completed before the 7 p.m. deadline. Now, I believe that everyone's doing, everyone's got the weird flight checkers. They've been checking the flights. He's landed. So, what do you think? So, is that Samir? I think it's Samir down there. Yeah, man, how you doing, dude? Gifting some... Is that 20 memberships you gifted? Look, if I'm Emi Martinez, I am pissed. Do you think... let's find out what happens in the goodness of time. Do you think that United have just sort of played Villa, got Sancho to go there, had never had any intention of signing Emi Martinez, but just opened the conversations so that Villa would be more warm to taking this? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Look, in an ideal world, I agree with you all down there in the comments, and I agree with all of you last night as well. Sign both of them. Move both Onana and Bayindir on, but we can't move either of them on, let alone one of them. But just in isolation, before we go in here and we speak about his strengths and his weaknesses and the concerns that you might have, Manchester United Football Club have got a new goalkeeper. Right? Have got a new goalkeeper. That was a complete necessity for us this summer. It really, really was. And you'll be able to find out quite a lot more about him when you watch the profile video that goes out after this video. Let me see what you're saying down here. Massive. I don't know. I'm guessing you're just in there for attention down there. It's a massive mistake. Massive, huge. This guy won't save us. It's nice to see that you've given him the thing I feel for him, because he's joining Manchester United, and this is down to the club itself, right? He's joining Manchester United now the season has started. He won't get the settling in time. Although saying that, he's going to have the international break, so I suppose there is something in that. But he's going to come into the club now when it's like a boiling pot of pressure. After the mistakes that Bayindir's made in the first couple of games, and then Onana against Grimsby, the spotlight on the goalkeeper is going to be insane. Do I think he will start against City? That's a good question. I'll put that down there as a poll, right? Start a poll. Do you think he starts against City? I'll be honest. Yeah. Why wouldn't he? 2 weeks to settle. 2 weeks to settle in, is that long enough? I don't see why not. And more to the point, I don't really see Ruben Amorim going into the derby at the Etihad happy with either of these two in goal. Let's be totally honest. Why would you? When you just signed a new goalkeeper. What else are you saying down here in the chat? We've got nothing to lose. I mean, we do have something to lose if we lose the game. So, yeah. Anti's saying everyone needs to be patient. He won't be first choice. Onana and Binder will be first choice for this season. It's not to say that... It's kind of a fair point and a fair comment to put down there. And it's something that every one of you and myself as well, we've all got to remember this and understand. This lad that we've signed here, we're definitely signing him to be competition for the number one position. If you were to look at Emi Martinez, for example, was a different level of goalkeeper. He would have come in and immediately been the number one, and there wouldn't really have been any questions asked. But this lad coming in, he's coming in as competition for the two goalkeepers that we already have. And I imagine we'll usurp them rather quickly. But he's not going to be coming in to establish himself immediately as the number one and without any questions. United have done their research. They've looked at all the data. And when you look at the data from Senne Lammens' first season at Royal Antwerp, it's really quite impressive. Made more saves in Europe's top 5 leagues. Well, I wasn't in top 5 leagues, but in any of Europe's leagues than any other goalkeeper. 6'4". He's got natural goalkeeping capabilities. I'll be honest. He's got some hesitation when it comes to crosses, when it comes to claiming crosses, when it comes to corners as well. It's not particularly the strongest point of his game. But whether that's down to hesitation or whether that's down to a lack, I don't think it's a lack of ability. He's not going to come in and immediately be like a top 3 goalkeeper in the Premier League. He's going to take time. And the time that you kind of rarely get at Manchester United as a player or a manager. And this is where I think some frustration can be had. I wish that we got this done before the season started so that the mistakes of Binder and the mistakes of Onana never existed. It's not to say that he would have had a perfect opening couple of games, but you wouldn't have had the failures of others affecting him. Now, let me go down here and read some of the chat because this is going to be a good conversation. Does this mean Martinez is not coming to United? Now, everything that we've sort of seen suggested is no. We're only signing one goalkeeper. Right, let's see if anything else is breaking on this now, because this is a live and direct story. What's he saying down here? Okay, right. Well, this is a little bit of an update. After Manchester United are proceeding with the Senne Lammens deal, solutions are being explored for Martinez. Well, let me see what anything else is being reported. You've got Simon Stone from the BBC saying kind of the opposite. Well, not kind of the opposite. The opposite. United will not be pursuing. They're interested in Martinez. I wonder if... Nah. I don't personally see United signing both. But if we're all being greedy, right? Sometimes you can be greedy. Sometimes you are a bit greedy. If we're being greedy, I would love for Manchester United to sign Emi Martinez and Senne Lammens on deadline day, and for both Binder and Onana to be moved on. And I think a good thing when it comes to Onana and Binder is the fact that if they were to go, I'd probably be looking at Turkey and Saudi as 2 likely leagues for them to go to. And both of those, they close later than today. So if Onana and Binder are both Manchester United players come 7 p.m. today, it doesn't mean necessarily that they can't leave. What was he saying down here? eFootball saying it's not even being greedy. It's I kind of feel like it's, I wouldn't say it's a little bit, I wouldn't say it's a necessity. Right, 1 second here. You're getting a bit of a... You can have a little time out there. Go and sit on the naughty step. If you haven't got anything good to add to the conversation, you want to come shout, go shout somewhere else. Akiri saying, who is Lammens? We need experience. The World Cup winner is available. Look, you all know how much egg on my face I've got from the Onana situation. When I thought the experience was like the be-all and end-all of signing a goalkeeper. Yeah, well done, mate. You just went and signed the goalkeeper that was in the Champions League final the season before, and he looks absolute tosh. So let's be honest. I don't think that experience is everything when it comes to goalkeepers. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know what is the single most important attribute when it comes to a goalkeeper. I'll ask you down there. What is the single most important attribute when it comes to being a goalkeeper? Is it the self-confidence? Is it the ability with the ball at his feet? Is it the shot-stopping ability? Is it the experience that he's had in his career so far? What is it that's been the fundamental problem with Manchester United's goalkeepers? Because you can almost do a bloody study into it. You really could. If you look at how United went from Schmeichel to Van der Sar, and the road that we had there was mad. The only thing that we actually nailed was Van der Sar to De Gea. That was a hell of a transition. Well, to be honest, it took us a while with De Gea, didn't it? And then post De Gea, we've had Onana, we've had Bayende, and now we're going to Lammens. Let me see what you're saying down here. In terms of like what do you think is the most important single attribute when it comes to being a good goalkeeper for Manchester United? Josh is saying mentality. Nathan and JT are saying shot stopping. Composure, says Connor. Common sense, says Shmi. Not letting in goals. I mean, obviously. Decision making, how he handles mistakes, confidence, mentality. Shot stopping, saving goals, character. I think the ability to absorb the pressure of United and turn it into fuel is probably like the most... I'd say that's like the most important attribute of any player and signing that we think we make. Because like, there's just been too many examples of players that they go into the Old Trafford atmosphere and instead of it being like an asset to them, it actually... They kind of cower in the pressure of it. Could probably phrase that better. But United we're taking a gamble here. Now, it's a gamble that could well pay off. I would call it a bit of a risky signing. Like, you know, when we signed Mazraoui, for example. That was a risky signing because of his injury record. Paid off, though, didn't it? Šeško, that's a risky signing, given the amount of money that it's cost. But Chris Favell and the data team are backing themselves that they've got the right guy in. This is definitely a gamble to go for a number 2 rather than an established number 1 and I suppose the Premier League experienced Martinez. And that, as I said there, look, you've got contrasting reports here from Fabrizio, from The Athletic. Let me see what The Athletic are reporting on this. All right, let's pull this up. This is coming from David Ornstein, Laurie Whitwell. Let me see if there's anything being said about other goalkeepers here. Goalkeeper position had not been on the agenda unless Onana was sold, which I think is wrong anyway. It should have been on the agenda. Buy in there. Villa were also considering the ones alongside Porto's Diogo Costa in the event that Emi Martinez left the club. Can't see anything there on any move for Martinez. Chosen our man. I tell you what, you know, it feels nice as well. I say feels nice. It's bloody deadline day. I'm sitting there going, oh, it doesn't feel nice. We're getting it done. What, by 12 p.m. on deadline day? It's still bloody deadline day. Richard is saying he's young and fearless. That's always one of the benefits of younger players. They are a little bit, you can call it naive if you want, but they've not been damaged. So he would come to United without scars and without anybody having a sort of pre-existing opinion of him, I suppose, is a kind of a fair way to describe it. Because as much as you can tell me about the strengths of Martinez and the personality and the fact that he's got the experience and he's won the World Cup, you know, we all know as United fans, having, not that we've watched every single bloody Villa game, but we've seen the mistakes that he's made. Capable of the great, capable of the awful. Oliver saying, no stain on the white jacket yet. Not yet. Not yet. Elliot is saying, best outcome, in my opinion. Martinez definitely has one in him, and on real terms is not that much of an upgrade on Onana. Let's see what else is down here. This is moving rapidly fast. Let me see what the poll is saying, by the way. We've got just under 4,000 votes in the first 10 minutes, and 66% of you are saying you think he starts against City. Right? At least the video doesn't go to waste, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's not a video where I just sit there and massively overhype the lad. It's a video where I point out all the strengths. I point out all the data that United have... Because what I would say about this signing, for sure, I don't think you could say this about too many United signings. This one's definitely data-driven. I've looked at all the numbers. They've obviously done the eye test as well. They would have had their scouts out in Belgium. I'm not saying it's just purely a data thing. But this definitely would be involved in that. What are we saying down here? Red Baron is saying, I just want a competent goalkeeper. I'm sick of crazy drama. Every goal we concede. Well, you'll agree with that with the start of the video that's going out after this. Because it's exactly the point that we make. Like, I don't want this lad to... Like, no offence. No offence to any goalkeeper. But if I'm talking about you a lot, it means that my team isn't playing properly. It means that my football team requires you to stop us from conceding. We're not controlling the game enough. Like, a goalkeeper should never be the headline of a successful Manchester United win. Ever. You can go back to include Van der Sar and Schmeichel into that. Of course, you want to have a goalkeeper who is reliable enough and is there to protect you when you need to be protected. But when United are playing well, we shouldn't really have to talk about Lammens at all. Just another game goes by where we don't speak about our goalkeeper. Just another game goes by where we don't speak about the calamity of a mistake that our goalkeeper has or flapping at corners. I would be a little bit concerned, but you know he's got the frame for it. He's 6'4". Goalkeeper should be almost silently in the background. Although in the sense of being a goalkeeper, but in the sense of being sort of the playmaker from deep, then that's a little bit different. He's actually got a good range on him. Short and long, kind of knows how to chop and change between the two. Yeah, I shouldn't ever live down what I said about Onana. Let's be honest. That's up there. The only take worse than that is old James Wilson and Harry Kane one. But they're like, look, to give me a little bit of leeway, the Onana transfer sort of taught me a lesson of watching a player, researching a player, and seeing what he does at another club. And don't just think that whatever he does in that club is going to transfer to Manchester United. Because Onana is the greatest example of that. Whether or not his confidence was completely knocked by that chipped goal that he conceded in pre-season, I don't know. But he was never the goalkeeper that we saw at Inter, ever, at any point. And that really, as I said, kind of taught me a lesson in how to look at and analyze players and bringing them in. What we got down there? Hands up for the Panther. How you doing, buddy? One mistake by Lammens makes an online fans will turn on him like Onana and break him. Not saying us in this community, I mean other social media, but this is... That's what I mean about this. That's where I have a degree of sympathy. He's going to have to... You know, it's the team. It's kind of what I mean. It's up to these Manchester United players to make sure that this lad isn't having to make 15 bloody saves in his first game. Right, when it comes to playing out from the back with the ball, that will be just on Lammens and how he controls it. That's something that's kind of his responsibility. But the rest of it, his defence and his team can really help him by not allowing... I suppose when he plays City, they're going to be coming through. They're going to get plenty of chances. So maybe in that sense, it's a little bit different. Ant, you're saying, Sam, you weren't wrong. You said he was transformational, but you didn't say which way. Oh, you let me off with that one. No, don't let me off on that one. And someone else asking down there, do you think he will start? 66% of you're saying that he will. Now, let me see what else is being written down here about this deal. I really understand. There's a little bit more there from Florian Plettenberg. What's he saying? I think more of the same. Yeah, more the same. Nothing new there. But yeah, that's him. That was him on his flight to Manchester. I believe he's already landed. So fingers crossed we get this one done nice and early. I say done nice and early. What I say? Ladies and gents, I'm just happy that we're signing a goalkeeper. Right? I'm just happy we're signing a goalkeeper. Simple as that. I can't come here and say that he's going to be the complete keeper that we need, that he won't make mistakes this season. But if I was sitting there having a conversation about Emi Martinez, I'd say the exact same damn thing. There is no goalkeeper, I think, that I can have confidence in delivering for Manchester United until he delivers for Manchester United. It's not just a case of like looking at, strengths and stats and data and everything he's done before. It doesn't matter. Doing a United shirt, do it for a couple of months in succession and kind of earn the trust of United. I'm not saying United fans are going to be horrible and get on his back straight away, because we won't do that. But we won't need to, because the media will do it. The media will be sort of like baying for him to make a mistake against City if he was to play against City, and maybe that's why Ruben Amorim wouldn't. Because if Ruben Amorim, when you look at it, you're looking at Šeško, he's been pretty. He's kind of kept him a little bit to the sidelines, a little bit. Now I don't know whether that's because he played the full 90 against Grimsby, and therefore I think he was 10th in the penalty order because he had a little bit of cramp. Maybe United are protecting Šeško in the early stuff. Maybe United will protect Lammens in that game against City and introduce him in the game after. I don't quite know. Robbie's saying I'm really, really close to breaching PSR. They've been there for a long time, man. I think they sold their women's team to themselves, didn't they? What do I think about the Conor Gallagher rumours? I thought Conor Gallagher was going back to Crystal Palace. Is that right or wrong on that one? I'll tell you who was right on this. This Lammens deal. Mike McGrath from the Telegraph said last night that United had prioritised Lammens. And I'll be really interested to see how this actually plays out and when we find out some more information as to whether or not United ever actually wanted Emi Martinez, or whether United kind of used the Emi Martinez conversation to, I don't know. Where is it? There's too many windows open. There he is. I still feel there's a possibility of one or both of these going. Caddy saying, praying, can we get a midfielder? I spoke about a midfielder earlier today. As I said, we'll go to the whiteboards, and I'll show you here. Look, the four midfielders that you got: Beleba, you got Hjulmand, you got Wharton, you got Stiller. Beleba's not happening. Hjulmand, I think, would just be, in my opinion, would be a misappropriation of funds. I think you'd be signing a player that would be decent enough, but like, do I think that he'll be exactly what we need for years to come? No, I don't. Do I think he'd improve us this season? Absolutely. But I think United might end up regretting that in 18 months or so. That's kind of the way I look at Hjulmand. Wharton, I don't think we'll be able to afford him, and especially if Mark Gahey leaves as well, Palace won't be selling him, and nor do I think we're going for him. And apparently he's injured. Missed that bit. Chris, you're saying Onana to Galatasaray on loan in the Turkish press. That'd be nice. That would be nice. Let me see what Mark McGrath was just saying about... Because I think Galatasaray and Fenerbahce both want goalkeepers, right? And I think Fenerbahce are signing Ederson from City. So I don't know. And I think Galatasaray previously had a bid for Diogo Costa turned down. I think. What else is being said down here? Nah, nothing there. Nothing there. It's always fun doing these live shows when it's properly breaking everywhere. Look, fingers crossed. As I said earlier, I think the fact that the Saudi and the Turkish windows are both open later than the English window gives us an out. And I think if I was to say, probably for both players, really, Turkish or Saudi clubs are the most likely destinations for both of them. KB, you're saying Onana's gone from number 1 to third choice. If you're Andre Onana now, you're very much in the same camp as Rasmus Højlund. You know how, like, when we were going after Šeško, Højlund rejected any move from Leipzig. He was like, nah, want to fight for my place. Gave that interview after the game saying that he loves it United, he wants to keep... But then he eventually took the hint because he was dropped from a couple of matchday squads. Onana's being left out of starting 11s. He won't be dropped from the squad because we don't have enough goalkeepers. But he's being left out of the team for a goalkeeper who's not exactly playing well. Might take the hint. Højlund did take the hint and has moved to Napoli, and I think he'll have a great time there. I really hope it works for him. I think the same situation now exists with Onana. I mean, it's not as if he's got anything to fight for from an international perspective because he's Cameroon's number one, isn't he? Or is he? Is there any other Cameroonian goalkeeper? Don't quite know, actually. Quite a few of you are talking about Gallagher and United. I haven't seen that from anyone that I would consider trustworthy enough yet. But it may well be that we're back a little bit back live later on today. Who's you're saying what happens with Vitek now? Well, absolutely nothing this season because Vitek is on loan at Bristol City. So he's having a full season on loan. I hope you're all correct, by the way. I hope you're all correct and that we do get some sort of midfield surprise. I personally don't think it will happen, but we'll see. See if anything else is being reported here. If you are new here, by the way, I'm sure plenty of you are new. Please do subscribe. Get involved, right? You got Rich Fay from... Who's he write for? He used to write for the Manchester Evening News, didn't he? I think he did. What's he suggesting? Right. They basically just suggesting, or just kind of reporting exactly what I've just said there. Saudi and Turkish windows are open. Buying Onana. Both could leave. And United need to, that's just wasted money now. You've got, how many goalkeepers at the club? You've got Senne Lammens who's coming in now. You've got Tom Heaton. You've got Bayindir and you've got Onana. So that's 4 goalkeepers. I think if you... Type it in the chat, right? Who do you think United would want to sell more? In terms of first. So say one of these 2 goalkeepers leaves this summer. Which one do you think United would be happy with selling more? I'm guessing it will be Onana. Get more wages off the bill. It will be Onana for me. Yeah, Eli Harrison. Eli Harrison's gone on loan. Where's he gone to? Is it Shrewsbury? I think he's gone to Shrewsbury. That is pretty much a unanimous. In fact, I think that is. If I did a poll there, that would have been 100%. Oh no, someone said Bayindir down there. There's one. I think United would definitely want to get rid of Onana first. And as I said, because the Turkish and the Saudi windows, they're open past 7 p.m. tonight. It gives us time to find clubs for these players. Who's the Turkish number one? I don't even know. And you're saying Onana because Bayindir's only had 7 games? Yeah, I think so. Right, I'll put this down as a poll anyway. Who do you think United want to get rid of first? Onana or Bayindir? We'll just put a poll down there. For anybody who's just tuning in, welcome aboard. This is the second live of today. I was supposed to be going live at 1 p.m, but then this came out at 12 p.m, so we went a little bit earlier. Man United have reached an agreement for 21 million euros plus add-ons. Now, if I remember correctly, I think Royal Antwerp were holding out for a price of 25 million euros, so may well be that those add-ons are 4 million. We don't quite know yet. And Fabrizio's confirmed it as well. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong one as well. Too many things open. We got the here we go. And he's signing. And here is a photo of him landing. Well, that's actually him taking off for Manchester Airport. He's already landed. So, yeah. I'm just happy. Wrapping this up, I'm just happy. What I'm going to do now is make sure all of you check this out. I'm going to drop it straight away on the channel. The profile on Lammens. You'll understand. Oh, Lammens. I need to go and find, you find one of those videos where players actually pronounce their own names. I'm going to go and watch that after this, and then I'll be able to definitely tell you how to pronounce his name after. But our 4th signing of the summer, we've got Cunha, we've got Mbumo, we've got Šeško. Now we've got a goalkeeper. Whether or not he starts against City, we'll find out. But I can see down here from that poll, 1,300 votes in the first minute. 94% of you are saying that United will want to get rid of Onana first, and I think you're all correct. Spark, you're saying Heaton for number 2, Sam. What do you think? Well, Heaton should have been number 1 for the first couple of games. It really, really should have been. And it's not just saying that as captain hindsight. Oh, no. Binder and Onana have made mistakes in the 2 games they played. Well, who could possibly have predicted that apart from everybody? We all predicted it. We all knew it was going to happen. Hence why we wanted Tom Heaton to start. As it stands, no move for Martinez. Let's see if United pull that one out. I don't particularly think they will. But maybe United are keeping their cards close to their chest on this. Let's find out what's being said down there. Sky Sports saying a slim to no chance of Conor Gallagher leaving Atletico Madrid today. So that puts to bed any sort of conversations there. And Nathan Salt from the Daily Mail, just to finish it and to finish the conversation we've just had there. He's saying, as of 12:32 p.m., the expectation is that United is that neither Onana or Binder leave the club today. But that doesn't mean that they can't leave. I already explained that. Those windows are open earlier. Villa are signing Harvey Elliott from Liverpool. And I don't care about that. Look, thank you all for tuning in. I knew it was going to be a busy deadline today. Good choice on not putting out the lunchtime video, Sam, because now we've got space to put out the Lammens profile. Lovely. All right. Mood, you're saying Agume or Hayden Hackney. Look, you can throw in midfielders all you want. They haven't heard anything, haven't seen anything. I think it's a bit of an oversight. But United went after their main choice, their first primary dream target in Baleba, probably bringing forward the summer plans from next year to this summer. But we didn't want to pay. Not the price that they wanted to. And yeah, you've all made your opinion clear. Onana is the first goalkeeper that you want to get rid of. Now, thank you all for tuning in. I'll speak to you soon. And maybe sooner than you think. Because there's more that's still happening today.